Hello, I'm FM and welcome to my channel. If you're brand new, thanks for checking out one of my videos. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully by the end of this, you'll be a subscriber. If you're already a subscriber, as always, thanks for checking out a vid. You're an absolute legend. I've got a lot of manual for you. While you're all here together, why don't you smash that like button? Do me a favour. If you're brand new, feel free to subscribe, check out all my other videos, and also hit that notification bell and you'll never miss one. Why would you want to miss one of my vids? I'm pretty sure you don't want to. So, this is the South American Super League. Now, a while back, maybe a few weeks, was it? Maybe a month, I made a save file where I unlocked all the leagues in South America to hopefully inspire you to maybe do a journeyman. I'll give you the option of doing a journeyman around South America, but it wasn't a Super League. This is a league with some of the best teams from all the nations of South America in one league. Now, there's a few things I need to talk about and explain, and I'll try and do that in the video, but you know, it is what it is. Like I always say with the database, if there's something you don't like, if there's a team I've chose you don't like, it's a database. You can download this database, you'll find it down below as a Steam link, and change it up yourself. After all the hard work, you can prettify it to your own personal taste. Right, let's get into it. So we'll start off by explaining, whenever I make something like this, I use a small country from that region as a base of operations for the new league, and change that country's name, and that's where the league is based. You need somewhere for it to be based. So I chose French Guiana. Now, if you go on Wikipedia, it'll say South America has 13 major countries. This is one of them. When it comes to international football, a lot of the smaller northern countries actually play in the North American region. So basically that's what we are. We're kind of a North American country, but really it's South America. That's where we're playing. Mainland South America, on the north coast. Now, for some reason, in the editor, you used to be able to change a country's continent. You can't do that now. If you know how to, tell me, because the way we've always done it, they've removed it. I don't know if they don't want you doing that anymore. So you can't change it. So that also means, for some reason, these teams don't go into any kind of continental club football, neither in North America or South America. There's no Champions League, right? Which is, maybe if you don't like that, maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you want to download the database and change that, fair play. But I thought to myself, I'm not too fussed, really. Alright, we can't go to the Club World Championships and become world champions, but I thought this is the South American Super League. All the best teams, according to Football Manager, of all the countries, are in this league. You're going to be playing each other. This is the place to be. It's where the money's at. It's the best league in the world. I put 2 cups in it as well, so there's lots of things you can win and lots of things you can do. And it's a tough challenge, really. It's a long, hard slog of a season, so I thought it was enough. If you don't like that, like I said, change the base nation to somewhere else and you might get some continental football. So yeah, there isn't any continental club football, but there is the South American Super State. It's got Carlo Ancelotti as manager. He's got a really good staff of all his friends, his sons on his staff, all his mates basically are on the staff. It's got its own squad that I've made. That is a pretty good squad to start off with. So if you want, you can come in and be an international manager and have a lot of fun, maybe try and win a World Cup with the Super State. But really, this is about the Super League and all its loveliness. So let's check it out. So what I decided to do was have a huge league, and I didn't want 2 divisions. I just wanted one big league, and we've got one big league. It's a 26-team league. There's no relegations, but there's also something different. Now, I've not done this before. I wanted something different. Because of the no Champions League, I thought, let's make this real fun. So the top 6 teams go into a championship playoff. So if you get 6, you could sneak into 6 on the last game of the season and have a chance of winning the title. I just thought it's quite cool. So you get to that position, you finalise that top 6, and then they go and try and battle it out for the title. So that's how it works, which I think is quite fun. Again, if you don't like it, when you download the database, feel free to change it to however you want. It is pretty simple. If you don't know how to do it, ask me, I'll tell you. So let's have a look at the rules. So there's 26 teams, points for a win 3, points for a draw 1. We've got 50 games. So, you know, 12 more games in the Premier League, which hopefully compensates for the lack of continental club football. You can use 4 subs out of 9, which I thought was pretty cool. League sorting rules standard to any other league. You get $500,000 if you win a game. You get $250,000 if you draw a game. Each team as well gets a $120 million TV deal. It's the best league in the world, Super League. So it's a bit more than the Premier League in England. So if you come first, you get 120 million TV deal plus 80 million, which, you know, 200 million. Not bad, is it? Everyone's got a good commercial deal as well. So when it comes to all the other sponsorships, that will add naturally as you play and play and play through the years. So obviously it drops down by 2 million. So even if you come bottom of the league, you don't get relegated, but you still get 30 million added to the 120 million, which is 150. So it's not bad. Top 6 of the qualify for the Champions playoff. Bans are pretty cool, just the same standard bans I use in all my databases. The transfer windows, again, July to September for the first one, and then the next one's January to February. That does change, fluctuates on its days, so it's pretty straightforward. But it's also a bit of a challenge, especially if you're not one of the big teams and you decide to start at the bottom. But anything can happen in a league like this. Now the main cup is the South American Cup, nothing too fancy. This is the main one. It's got a great reputation. It's the best cup competition in the freaking world. Now, obviously, the country we use is French Guiana. Now, they've got their own little league, which isn't great. But what I did was I called it the Old League, and I've kept them team because obviously you're based in that nation. I've given them all good facilities. That's it. So obviously, as a nation, might create some regions for you coming through their systems as well. Also gives you a chance to maybe have a local team that's not in the league that you can maybe loan some players out to. It's not a playable league though, but it is there. Again, this is just to maybe grow the super state as its own country in its own right. But yeah, this is the cup. So this has everyone in it, from the Old League to the Super League, and it is the main one you want to win. The next cup is like the League Cup. It's called the Inca Cup, and this is just for the league. So the Old League, the smaller teams, are not in this one. Its reputation is a bit lower, obviously, but it's still a good cup. Now, the way I've done it as well is pretty similar to England. I've kind of tried to copy English dates in a way. So the first half of the season, you'll play in the Inca Cup, and I think the final is just before. The final's about mid-December. And then when it comes to the South American Cup, which is like the FA Cup, I think it's drawn like the FA Cup in December, at the end of December, and you start playing in February and it goes to the end of the season. And I've tested it and I think it works okay. So basically you have the league, so you play in the league, I think it finishes in about April. So you've got the Inca Cup at the first half and you've got the FA Cup in the second half. And then obviously if you get in the top 6, the league finishes, and then it gives you enough time then to play the games you need to play for the championship. And then if you win the championship, you get about a week off and it's the cup final. So it works out pretty well, I think. Now if you do win the league or the cup, you go into the Super Cup. This is at the start of the year, which is pretty awesome. So you've got loads of cups to win. There's loads to play for. Hopefully you enjoy it. Make sure if you do download it, you let me know how it goes. And if you do get to a cup final or Super Cup final or whatever it is, you'll be playing at the new South American Superdome. It's state there, 120,000 capacity. It's got all the best bits. It's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, great cup final days at the Superdome. You might have noticed I've holidayed 1 year. It is July 2018. So the first winners ever was Gremio, is it? Yeah. Then. So they won it. Now you've got teams from all over South America. Obviously some of the bigger nations is more teams, and then as the nation gets smaller, the amount of representatives from them nations gets smaller. So let's have a look at where they come from. So we'll start off with Argentina, and they have 4 teams representing them in the Super League, and the first team is River Plate. Next up, it's my favourite Argentinian team, and that is Boca Juniors. We also have San Lorenzo. And finishing it off for Argentina, we've got Racing Club. Next up, it's Brazil. They also have 4 teams, and it is only Argentina and Brazil that have 4 teams each. And the first team is Palmeiras. Next up, it's Flamengo, one of the famous teams from Brazil, Corinthians. And the current champions of the Super League, Gremio. Now, I will say, just in case you are South American, I have used the game's own reputation points. So I decided on the amount of teams from each country, and I just selected the top 4 according to the game's reputation. So it's not a personal preference really. And also when it came to deciding which country was the biggest, again, I used the game's reputation. I looked at where they were ranked and just went through that system. So the next country is Chile, and they have 3 teams, and the first team is Colo Colo. Next is Club Universidad, is that how you say it? De Chile. And again, we've got a Club Deportivo Universidad. I think that's how you say it, so if it's not, Católica. Next country on the list is Peru. They also have 3 teams representing them. And the first is Club Universitario. Yeah, these guys. Also we have Alianza and Club Sporting Cristal. The next country is Ecuador. Every time I hear Ecuador, it reminds me of that song from way back when. Yeah, they've got 2 teams representing them. And the first is Deportiva. And the next team is Emelec. The next country is Uruguay. They also have 2 teams representing them. And the first one is Peñarol. And they are followed by Nacional. On to another country, and it's Colombia. They have 2 teams representing them. And that is Atletico Nacional and everybody's favourite Christmas time team, Santa Fe. The next country is Paraguay. They also have 2 teams. And the first one of those teams is Club Libertad. And also representing Paraguay with them is Club Olimpia. Now we're on to the so-called smaller nations, and the biggest of those small nations is Bolivia. They only have 1 team, so do the rest of the countries, and it's Club Bolivia. Up next is Venezuela, and representing them is Caracas. Now these really are one of the small teams, and I meant to make a kit for them, I've not got around to it yet. And representing Guyana, it's Guyana Defence Force. Sounds like the police. Look who they've got as the manager as well. This league should just get better and better. And the final team, possibly the smallest team, the biggest challenge, and again someone I'm going to have to get around to making a kit for, is Suriname's representative, and it's SV Inter. So yeah, this would be a massive challenge for you. So there we go, that is the Super League. It's pretty simple. It will be available on Steam for you to download and change to however you want to change it to. I can also put some save files down below as well. Now before we do finish, I have holidayed 5 years to test it, so we're going to have a quick look at how it works and see if any of the smaller teams can win the league. I just hope some of you have a go with it. I hope if you do have a go with it, you have fun with it. I enjoy making databases to give you something else to play, especially this time of year when you know, standard saves start getting a bit boring. You want something different. This could be that different database. I think it looks like a lot of fun, and there's some really good challenges in it. So here we are, 5 years into it. I just give it a good test run. I think everything works fine. It should be a lot of fun for you to play, hopefully. Now, when you look at the past winners, look at that. Now they're all quite biggish teams, but it's a different team every year. I love that. I think that hopefully shows that even when you play it, the simulation will be different. But hopefully it's a different challenge. Hopefully it's really open for anything to happen, and that makes it hopefully an exciting league to play in. Look at some of the managers now. It's 5 years in and really starting to develop into its own league. Some great names: Schmidt, Rogers, Conte, Mancini. Do you know what I mean? Rafa Benitez, Martino, obviously Michael Laudrup. I mean, come on, some great names. Pellegrini. Not got Jose yet. Frank de Boer as well. So you know the league itself is strong. There's a lot of money involved and some great players. And if we have a look at all the main players based in the nation right now, got some great ones. Look, Kane, Senio, do you know what I mean? Some Lamar. Go through that list. Mohamed Salah, Alaba. Well, yeah. So it's some great players, some great regens as well. You're gonna get some top class regens coming through. So yeah, it's all about having fun. And if you do have a go with it, hopefully you have fun with it. If we have a look at the cup, the main cup. Again, it's quite a good spread. Boca have won 2, but you know, different teams have won it. A team like Santa Fe won it, which is a great thing to see because they're one of the smaller teams at the beginning, so I'm happy about that. On to the Inca Cup again. Some big teams have won it, but you know, Católica have won it as well, so Boca are the current champions. They look like a good team at the minute. But again, yeah, I'm hoping it's a good database to play. And again, let me know if you do try it out, how it goes and who you are. Tell me your management story in the comments. So there we go, 5 years in, Carlo Ancelotti is still the manager, and I think the league's really grown. Some of the best players have obviously gone out to Europe, which is a bit disappointing, but it still should be fun to play. So hopefully you've enjoyed me running through this database and you've enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. If you're brand new to my series, as always, feel free to subscribe, check out all my content, and also hit that bell and you'll never miss an episode. I just appreciate you checking out the video anyway, I really do. As always, you've been freaking awesome. I've been Booed. I'll see you next time.